Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 5.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. Blair, walk us through this episode, please.
So, Robyn and Cody go to see the twins.
Yes.
Mykelti is happy to see her dad and to show her dad the babies.
Mm-hmm.
Cody gets along with Tony and Mykelti. Robyn believes it's because Mykelti understands that there are two sides.
Okay.
So Cody talks about buying a big house. Currently, the house that he's in with Robyn, in order for Mykelti, Tony, and the grandkids to come over, they would have to displace one of their kids to come sleep with them.
Yeah.
So he would like to get a big house for everyone to have their own space to come visit and maybe live.
Interesting.
And Mykelti says, no way in hell.
No way.
But she will come to visit.
Okay.
Cody would want a house big enough for all of his children to come back to. Mykelti talks about how she's doing great postpartum.
Yeah.
She has been eating her placenta. She says that she's doing it in an encapsulated form, but apparently when the placenta came out, she took a big bite of it.
She just went, you know what? I want it. Okay.
But yeah, currently she's taking it encapsulated.
Mm-hmm.
Meri thinks it's gross.
It is.
Christine thought it was gross at first, but she thought about it and she was like, this is something that all mammals do. Robyn tells us that she was the first one to do it.
Okay.
Her midwife recommended it for postpartum depression, and she had postpartum depression with one of her children, and that was a scary time for her.
Well, congrats, Robyn, for doing it first. You know.
Christine says, so there was this rumor or this thing going around of basically how sister wives would pass the babies around to be breastfed by all the women in the family.
Musical babies.
Yes. Well, the mothers in the family. And Christine says that it was a joke. Nothing like that ever happened. Meri said that she did breastfeed one of the mother's children just because it was medically necessary. Then right after that, they show us Janelle. Janelle says she never did it, but she never had much of a supply anyway.
Uh-oh, she told herself.
Robyn says that she has seen it happen plenty of times, but it's more about necessity and help rather than just for like fun. Christine says that Mykelti isn't afraid to ask for what she needs, and that's pretty much why she has a relationship she has with Robyn and Cody. She asks, and they provide whatever they can.
Well, what about the other kids that ask Cody for stuff and he don't provide for them?
Like your time.
Stability. Or consistency.
Consistency, right.
You get what I'm saying? Cody have this weird way, or funny way rather, of trying to recreate something that he's trying to get his team together. He said, you know what would be fun? We just get a big house and then we have all the Robyn kids and just y'all. Basically 2 extra rooms for these kids and y'all, and we all could be one big happy family. First of all, Cody, this whole big happy family thing you're trying to recreate, who to say that you're not going to split that house too? You have shown yourself to be inconsistent when it comes to having the whole family together. And this whole idea that you go get this big house when you already got a land to pay off and things like that and haven't even built nothing on it, you still creating or selling these dreams that we all going to be in one house. The dream is over. The marriages is over. I don't even understand what he's trying to do here. What are your thoughts, Blair?
My thoughts, I think that Cody just needed to see the baby and tell them they were beautiful and leave.
Yeah, go home.
Just, make the visit and go, not making all these promises and all that type of stuff. And I do feel like that's part of the issue that Cody has in his relationships with his kids and probably his wives too. He gets excited. He sells these dreams. He's not consistent and he doesn't follow through. Yeah. So they lose trust in him and lose respect for him.
Yeah.
So.
And how do you feel about Robyn saying that the reason why Mykelti is basically cool with us still is because she knows the truth on both sides? Do you believe that?
I do believe that. I think that Mykelti, I think she just might be a little bit more empathetic towards her dad.
Okay.
And I'm not even saying necessarily that she feels bad for him, but she probably just understands that he is who he is, and she is choosing to accept him versus trying to make him be something he's not. And basically willing to have him in her life in whatever way he can possibly do it. And I feel like that's really the approach the kids have to have with Cody, because it doesn't seem like he's capable of a lot emotionally or maturity wise. So it's just kind of like, if you want dad in your life, this is the dad you got.
And you also got to understand too as well, she's older too. Right. You get what I'm saying?
And she doesn't rely on, she's got her kids, she's got her husband. Like, she really doesn't need much from her dad.
You're right. Anything else from like the scene that stood out to you?
Nope.
Let's keep going.
So Christine went on her second date with David. Of course, we all know that they're married now.
Yeah.
The only thing that stood out to me is when she said that the dating experience with David is just more giggly. It's more fun. It feels more solid. And she feels like David is a good guy.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about David until he's on the screen. We already know they're married and things like that. Anything that stands out, we point it out, but we already know the end result of them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Gabe is over at Janelle's helping her cook. Mm-hmm. He has been having a hard time, so he's been speaking with the counselor at the university. And as we know, Gabe has passed away since.
Yeah.
So Cody hasn't had much contact with Janelle's kids since COVID.
Yeah.
After COVID, Cody thought the boys needed to apologize to him and Robyn. Then it turned to they just needed to have a conversation.
Okay.
Gabe said that Cody did message him.
Mm-hmm.
The initial message was pretty much asking for an apology.
Ooh, I do not like that.
And Gabe told him, unless you're willing to actually repair the relationship and be consistent, I don't want you in my life at all.
Wow.
Then Cody came back with, I forgive you. Hopefully you can forgive me. And Gabe just feels like if his dad can't take accountability, he's not going to talk to him.
Okay.
Cody was an engaged father. He took Gabe on business trips. After high school, Cody was basically saying that those kids were not loyal, and he was talking about obedience and all this type of stuff. And that's when the relationship changed.
Okay.
And Janelle says that the kids would have to conform to how Cody and Robyn see the world.
Yeah.
The kids feel that way too, and that's not something that they're willing to do.
Yeah.
Cody doesn't think he's ever been a patriarchal type of guy. He said it one time in an argument when Janelle was walking away, but he didn't really mean it.
Then why say it? I hear you.
Well, Gabe thinks Cody was doing... they're talking about if Cody was doing what he thought was best for the family and the way that he's been handling things. And Gabe thinks that Cody was doing best for the family he wanted to be around and not the entire family.
That's facts.
When Cody got COVID, he talks about how he became hostile, and it was because he saw the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, he said he saw death.
Janelle's kids feel like COVID presented an opportunity for Cody to do what he always wanted to do, which was basically live his life with Robyn and Robyn only.
Yeah.
Cody said that he never said that he wished he would have waited and just married Robyn. That was a conversation that never happened.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out is very important. R.I.P. Gabe. He was talking to the counselor.
Yeah.
He was struggling already. It's one thing to have the cameras in front of you, have your mother in front of you, have stage hands behind the camera, have producers, and basically tell us how you feel about how everything going on with your family, your dad, them prepping him. And of course, on camera, you can be, you can have this bravo mentality of like, if he don't want to be in my life, I don't want to be in his, and things like that. But at the end of the day, that's his father. And also the fact that Janelle was talking about how he used to bring Gabe on his business trips. So there was an intimacy that Gabe had with Cody that basically like, I'm with dad. That's one thing little kids want to be. They just want to be with dad and things of that nature, right? So it's just the idea that now Gabe is having a hard time like being away from dad to where all the time, even at work, I'm with dad. You get what I'm saying? So Cody have this idea, which I don't understand, but Cody, it's your fault. That's the saying that, oh, you know what? My line is open if you want to apologize. Like, your kids are grown. Like they don't need to be basically manipulated to apologizing to you. What is your thoughts on that scene?
I think that's just kind of where it goes into them having two different perspectives of the situation. Cody, later on in the episode says he reaches out to Gabe, and Gabe is like, he reaches out to me asking for apologies. Like
that's weird though. That's
like
wild.
It's not actually like you're really trying to restart and resume a relationship. It's like you want some type of like power or over the other person, or basically them humbling themselves to you. And it's just like, it's a mutual relationship. We're both adults here. Let's try to just talk to each other and see where each other's coming from. Yeah. And it just doesn't seem like Cody is capable of doing that. No. And I can understand, like, look, if he was one way as a dad all this time, and I think Cody, not only did he struggle with relationships with the women, but I also think that he doesn't know how to be a parent to adult children. And it just seems that he disengages when it comes to kids starting to form their own opinions and wanting to have conversations with him. That's not what he wants. He wants to be dad, the favorite. When he comes around, everybody's excited because he's been at all the other houses all week. But when it actually comes to sitting down and doing the work of being in a family and having tough conversations, he cannot do it. Like, it's just not in him. So no,
and it just shows that he's not genuine in any of his actions, in my opinion, because even with the whole trying to recruit Mykelti, that's just trying to get back at Christine.
Yeah.
Look, we in the big house. We got the big family now. Now, or you doing all that laughing and doing all this stuff at the wedding, having a good time. Look, we gonna have Thanksgiving, Christmas. They over here all the time. While he's over here recruiting Mykelti, he can recruit Gabe. You get what I'm saying? Like, you had him all the time when he was young. So it just shows that Cody he's just not genuine in his apologies or even like just trying to be close to his kids.
Yeah. So Meri comes on. She has decided to move forward with the official termination of her marriage at the church. She texted Cody before things were finalized and asked if he wanted anything to do with it, had any input, and he never responded to her text.
Yeah.
Well, Meri was granted the release. It was a heartbreaking conversation for her because it's not what she intended when she married Cody.
Of course not.
They did have a legal divorce, if you guys remember, when she divorced him, so that way he could legally marry Robyn, so that way he could adopt her children. But at that time, their spiritual marriage was still intact.
And this is what I don't understand with, she said like the spiritual marriage is still intact. How?
Because they say it is.
No. I'm saying how. Like, who cares what they say? Because at the end of the day, she's thinking like, oh, I'm just doing the family a favor, and basically I'm divorcing Cody to basically help him get with Robyn. The writing was on the wall that whole time. Yeah. Because my whole thing is, how come Robyn couldn't just join the family? How come she had to be legally married to Cody because they wanted to adopt the kids? Like, no, like that's not fair to everybody else. In my opinion, the fact that Meri even called this man, or texted him rather, saying, hey, I'm moving on with the release with the church. It reminds me of when you break up with somebody and you like, hey, Blair, you left like the back of your earring like at the house. I found it after y'all been broken up for months and things like that. Because you're just trying to find any reason to talk to them or try to find any reason for y'all to see each other.
I don't know. For me, I think that Meri took it kind of hard, and she took the spiritual marriage serious. So
she cheated though.
Yeah, but I still feel like, I mean, she stuck around for how many years? And basically for Cody to tell her to live in a barndominium. Yeah. So I'm just saying it took her a while and a lot to actually leave. So for her to do this, I felt she thought it was a big deal, and maybe she thought Cody would think it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But
maybe.
But to me, Cody never seemed like he cared either way, to be honest.
And the reason why I feel that way is based on the scenes that happened after the fact. Because they haven't been practicing in the church for years as well. So for her to go back to the church and say, hey, we need a release. So, like, do you want anything to process with it? And of course, he did not respond to her at all. Yeah. Because I think he felt like she's just trying to find any excuse to see me, to talk to me. I don't want nothing to do with Meri. I'm sorry it took Meri over 32 years to actually get the picture and things like that. But she should have known that Cody was not going to do anything that have to do with like seeing her or talking to her.
Well, Cody got a phone call from the church saying that Meri got the release.
Yeah.
He says that they also said some things that he doesn't want to go into, but Meri tells us that the church said that it was she got the release on grounds of abandonment.
Okay.
Robyn thought that if Cody waited on God, that there would be a change in his relationship with Meri. That's what he tried to do, but he wishes that he would have figured things out sooner.
I don't believe that.
Meri talks about how they got married when they were 19 and she spent majority of her life with him. Robyn says that the separation has been hard for Cody. He has cried over it. And Cody tells us he is relieved that it's done.
Literally, the next sentence. Literally, the next sentence.
He's like, it's sad, but he moved on a while ago.
Yeah.
He was mostly just afraid of what Meri would do if he ripped the Band-Aid off. And it was more about his reputation. And honestly, I think he got what he didn't want to have, the whole abandonment thing.
You're right.
Because that's the whole reason why he let Meri hang around on the outskirts of the family, because he didn't want to be the one to break up the relationship or to abandon a wife. But at the end of the day, that's how they viewed it anyway.
Yeah.
So, well, Meri tells us she's starting fresh. She's excited about it, but she's also dealing with a lot of pain. She hasn't told anyone other than her child about it. And of course, Cody knows. So whoever Cody told is who knows as well. So apparently Cody told Janelle about the release, and Janelle thought it was good. And she is like, that's not something I would do because I'm not really involved in the church. I wouldn't know who to ask. And that's pretty much how she feels.
Yeah.
As far as Christine, she doesn't respect the people at that church, and she doesn't feel like they have any bearing over her life. Christine has left polygamy completely, and that whole spiritual Mormon, whatever, she's doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Robyn says it's sad because, they would all be hanging out and she could feel the destiny in it when it came to Meri and Cody, but she hopes that Meri still wants to be friends with them.
Robyn's a liar. Robyn is talking about when she was first introduced to the family. The flashbacks of all three of them together is literally when Robyn was first introduced to the family. So she's coming in probably with the highest hopes ever because she's new to everything. But Janelle kind of, if you kind of seen the scene where she was talking about how Meri got the release, it was almost like she's kind of I don't want to say laughing at it, but kind of chuckling at it, like chuckling at the idea, like, oh, okay, I mean, it's good for you. It's almost as if everybody is saying, like, Meri, just let it go. Yeah. Like Christine just found any reason. Oh, you know what? That church, I'm them people ain't gonna run my life at all. Facts. You get what I'm saying? But it just seems like Meri's the only one that is still having a hard time getting. Janelle's like, I moved on. It is what it is. I wonder what was the spirit of Cody calling Janelle to tell her. I wonder, was it like something that they could laugh at or something like that? But it definitely gave off like, Meri, just let it go. But I go to Robyn, and Robyn is basically lying to us on this TV screen, talking about Cody's having a hard time processing the Meri divorce, and he's literally said, I'm relieved by it. Like, finally, like, it's over, and things of that nature. Him saying it was sad is just him trying to be fake polite. But he's been happy. So Robyn's trying to sell us a picture that, like, maybe Meri could be around, but I think Robyn in this moment is just being selfish. Like Meri's the only one that can be, out of all the wives, Christine and Janelle, Meri's the only one that could be manipulated by Robyn to stay. Other than that, like, there's no reason for her to hope that Meri and Cody will reconcile.
Yeah, I just feel like Robyn's delusional, and I think that's why people have such a hard time with her, because it's like every time she speaks on things is as if it's a surprise or it's the first time or she doesn't understand, when it's like, girl, it's been years. Have you not seen the degradation of the relationships falling before your very eyes? And I think that's why people get so irritated, because people have their feelings and their experiences with Robyn and Cody and feeling like Cody, treats them better or has some type of favoritism. And I think what a lot of people just want is acknowledgement as well. Even if they don't necessarily get the apology, it's just like, I can see how you would see it that way. But Robyn is just refusing to see things from other people's perspective. Right. And I think that's really frustrating, because clearly, if my dad is always at your house, are you really going to call me dumb for saying that you're his favorite?
Come on now.
Come on. It's and then she comes around talking about how she just wants to be, close with everybody and how everybody's isolating them. And it's just like, you got to acknowledge where people are coming from as well. It's not all clearly like black and white, So Janelle says that Cody sees Savannah sometimes, but Savannah has just come to accept that this is the dad that he is. Okay. Her brothers are protective of her, so when it comes to her getting married, she would have her brothers walk her down the aisle. Okay. Gabe thinks that Robyn has a victim complex.
She does.
He feels like different people just have different strategies to keep them afloat. The kids feel that Robyn just kind of waits to twist their words and situations to where it's not exactly how they mean or how they intended. Yeah. So they're a little bit more skeptical about being close to Robyn and being like open and honest with her. Okay. Cody talks about how Robyn, the last conversation she had with Janelle, was basically begging for a relationship from Janelle. And he tells us that Janelle is a relationship coward.
See, name calling. Why do I gotta be a relationship coward? But I hear you.
Yeah. At this point, Gabe would be happy just for a relationship with Robyn's kids. He has no hope for a relationship with Robyn and Cody. Okay. Cody, apparently, this is what Gabe says, is that he sat down and had a conversation with his dad and got real with him and told him that, he basically wasn't stepping up as a dad and the issues that they were having. And apparently Cody told him that you're not loyal, just like your mom's not loyal.
This word loyal is crazy. You are my son. You know what I'm saying?
And Cody tells us that conversation never happened. Well, Janelle tells us that she is happy. She stuck it out with Cody because her kids were still at home. Yeah. But once she saw that he was basically avoiding and mistreating the children, she decided to no longer deal with him.
Yeah.
Cody talks about how he has reached out to Gabe multiple times and he gets rejected every time.
Listen, I say this because there's nothing really much to add to that scene. Let's keep going. But I will say this, Cody, next season, I don't want to hear you crying. I don't want to see you crying. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, my God, my son. Don't even come to the funeral. like, I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see him say Gabe's name because my thing is there's no point of respecting the dead. They're gone. You had all this time to basically fix the relationship, to basically give the flowers to the living. We get so used to putting flowers on tombstones, but they can't smell them. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear none of that. I was rejected. He was not loyal. He betrayed me and things like that. Guess what? Now he's really out your life. Like you have to live with that. You have to live with your decisions.
And that regret is going to hit
hard.
No,
it's going to hit like a ton of bricks.
Hard.
Yeah.
And I also feel like with Cody, he can't get out of his own way. Yeah. He can't allow the other person to be upset in their fullness without him feeling like he has to be defensive. Yeah. And that's another thing that's crumbling his relationships. And it's unfortunate to see, especially when it comes to, a situation like Gabe, to where there is no second chances. No. That's the end of that.
No, it's not.
Robyn says that it's the first Christmas where it's just going to be Robyn, the kids, and Cody. She is heartbroken about it. She wanted to be in a big plural family since she was younger. She was excited to be part of Cody's family, and this is not what she envisioned her life to be.
Okay.
She is struggling with her identity, and she doesn't see her future anymore.
You're a wife.
The hopes and dreams that she had are disappearing before her very eyes. Cody talks about how Robyn has been holding on to the dream he sold her of the family. Yeah. And he's telling her it's crumbling. We got to move on. It was never meant to be. Okay. Meri isn't doing Christmas with them this year. And I was just thinking, like, what's different from this Christmas and last Christmas? And I was just like, oh, yeah, Meri was there. And I think Mykelti dropped in or whatever. And the other one with the glasses, the younger daughter. Yeah. But she feels she can't have the perfect Christmas because the family is no longer together.
Talking about Robyn. Go ahead.
And Cody's prayer now is just to save him and Robyn. He's hoping that their marriage can be saved after all that has transpired. Robyn just doesn't know how to let things go.
Is that it?
That's all.
I find it interesting that whenever he talks about Robyn, he always talks about Robyn in a delightful way. He said Robyn got a spine of steel and things like that. Basically, she's been upright and all of this, and you can cause resentment in that because no one's perfect and things of that nature. And when your kids are basically talking about your wife, Robyn, you just basically you know what? I don't want to hear it. Don't talk. If you ain't gonna respect Robyn, I'm not gonna talk to you. Besides two people who are willing to basically, Robyn said in last episode, she's willing to talk. Let me defend me. So I think Cody present Robyn in ways that make her seem like Superwoman, and that's weird. Also, I think Robyn is also, to your point, delusional and maybe even just straight up lying to us. She talking about she want to be surrounded by her family. Literally, you are surrounded by just your family. Right. Literally, your kids. He chose you. You get what I'm saying? So this whole idea that Meri's not going to be here and she's sad about it. And Meri, I kind of agree with Meri. Hey, look, we're divorced. We don't hang out when we like why is it that you are sad that Meri's not going to be around, but you don't feel that way about Janelle? You don't feel that way about Christine? I understand Christine don't like you. She said, I never had plans to like you and things of that nature. But it's just this attachment to Meri. I think, in my opinion, Meri is just easy because of her own delusion, Meri, that is basically like the marriage will work. She's like, oh, I can use that to still fulfill my own goals of feeling like a sister wife, and maybe it will work out. She's laying on the floor or sitting on the floor, it seems like. And she said, all I have is my prayers. No, you have reality. Yeah. You can choose to open your eyes and see reality. Cody is telling you he don't want it. Meri is saying, I don't want it. So it's like, you have to just live in your reality. And Cody's whole thing of just save me and Robyn, no, that's not what's going to happen. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Anything else you have to add?
That's all I got.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all next time. Bye.